You're trying to eat healthy. You've cut back on fast food. You drink more water. Maybe you even started reading nutrition labels. But what if even with all that effort, a few everyday foods sitting right in your kitchen are actually speeding up your aging, silently and faster than you realize? Because the truth is, after 60, the body becomes more sensitive. It doesn't process sugar, fat, or preservatives the way it used to. And while some people in their 70s still look sharp, feel energized, and move with ease, others are dealing with chronic fatigue, wrinkles, joint pain, and brain fog. The difference? It's often hidden in the things we eat every single day, without thinking twice. In this video, we're going to uncover 10 common foods that doctors are warning about. Foods that look innocent, even healthy, but they've been linked to faster skin aging, memory decline, inflammation, and chronic illness, especially in older adults. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which foods to cut, what to replace them with, and how to help your body fight aging instead of feeding it. So stick around, because these are not guesses. They're backed by research, and changing just a few of these habits could add years to your life. And if you're over 60 or love someone who is, hit like, subscribe, and share this video. You might be saving a life, or at least adding some healthier years to it. Now let's dive into why aging speeds up after 60, and how your next meal might be the most important decision of your day. Why aging speeds up after 60. Let's talk about something most people never hear from their doctor. Why aging seems to pick up speed after 60. It's not your imagination. You start to feel things you didn't feel before. Your recovery is slower. Your skin changes. Your energy dips faster. So what's really happening? First, it's your hormones. After 60, your body produces less testosterone, estrogen, and growth hormone. These are the very chemicals that once helped you maintain muscle, bounce back from stress, and sleep deeply. Now, with lower levels, your body doesn't recover the way it used to. Then there's cellular repair. In your younger years, your cells were constantly regenerating, replacing damaged tissue and cleaning up internal waste. But after 60, this process slows down. So the little damage your body used to fix overnight now starts to build up. That's when you see the signs: age spots, stiffness, slower healing, mental fatigue. And we can't forget about digestion. As we age, the stomach produces less acid. The intestines absorb nutrients less efficiently, which means even if you're eating healthy foods, your body might not be getting everything it needs from them. This is why what you eat matters more now than ever before. Because every bite either supports your aging body or pushes it further into fatigue, inflammation, and decline. Some foods give your cells fuel. Others slowly wear them down. And here's the catch. The worst foods for aging aren't always the obvious ones. Some are packaged as healthy. Some are marketed to seniors. But inside, they're loaded with ingredients that age you from the inside out. So if you're over 60 and wondering why you're more tired, more achy, or just not feeling like yourself, don't just look at the calendar. Look at your plate. Coming up, we'll reveal the first food on the list, one that many seniors eat every morning without realizing the damage it's doing. Let's get into it. Food 1. Processed meats, bacon, sausage, deli cuts. Let's start with a breakfast favorite: bacon, sausage, deli ham. They smell amazing. They taste even better. But if you're over 60, they might be doing more harm than good. Processed meats are packed with preservatives, sodium, and nitrites, chemicals that give them longer shelf life and more flavor, but at a serious cost to your health. Here's what happens behind the scenes. Those nitrites, once they hit your stomach, they can transform into compounds that damage cells, the very same cells responsible for keeping your tissues, skin, and organs youthful. The high sodium content? It leads to water retention, joint pain, and high blood pressure, especially dangerous for seniors with heart or kidney concerns. And then there's the inflammation. Studies have linked processed meats to chronic inflammation, which is a key driver of arthritis, fatigue, and accelerated aging in older adults. Let's look at George. He's 68. For years, he started every day with eggs and bacon. He thought he was eating a protein-packed breakfast. But over time, he noticed more stiffness in his joints, bloating, and rising blood pressure. His doctor didn't tell him to stop eating meat. He just told him to change the type of meat he was eating. George switched to grilled chicken, beans, and the occasional turkey sausage. Within weeks, his digestion improved, his stiffness eased, and his energy came back. So here's the good news. You don't have to give up meat, just avoid the ones that come in plastic wrap or vacuum-sealed bags. Opt for 1. Fresh lean meats like chicken breast or turkey. 2. Wild fish like salmon or mackerel. 3. Or plant proteins like beans and lentils for added fiber. Because the older you get, the more you realize. It's not just what fills you up, it's what fuels you. And processed meats? They may be tasty, but they're not worth the years they quietly take off your life. Now, let's move on to another food that's aging millions of seniors before noon every day. And it's hiding in something many people think is healthy. Food 2. Sugary breakfast cereals. They come in colorful boxes. They promise fiber, vitamins, energy. And for many seniors, they seem like the easy breakfast choice. But here's the truth. Sugary breakfast cereals are one of the worst ways to start your day after 60. Yes, even the ones labeled heart healthy or whole grain. Why? Because most cereals are loaded with refined sugar, artificial flavors, and synthetic vitamins your body struggles to absorb. And it's not just about the sugar high. It's about what happens next. When you eat a bowl of cereal packed with sugar, your blood sugar spikes. You feel awake, energized, maybe even upbeat for an hour or two. But then your body crashes. Your energy tanks. Your brain slows down. And you're left feeling foggy, tired, and moody, sometimes without even realizing why. For seniors, this roller coaster is even harder, because your body's ability to regulate insulin and glucose naturally declines with age. And those synthetic nutrients printed on the box, they often pass through your system without actually getting used, especially if your digestion is already compromised. Let me tell you about Rose. She's 73, and for years, she started her day with a healthy bran cereal. She thought she was doing the right thing. But every morning, by 10 a.m., she felt anxious, scattered, and in need of a nap. Her doctor suggested a simple swap: old-fashioned oats, a dash of cinnamon, and a handful of berries. No sugar crash, no mental fog, just sustained energy and better digestion. So if you're still reaching for cereal every morning, check the label. If sugar is one of the first ingredients, it's time for a change. Try this instead. 1. Cook steel cut or rolled oats. 2. Add cinnamon. It helps balance blood sugar. 3. Toss in fresh or frozen berries for antioxidants and sweetness. Because aging better doesn't start with pills or powders. Sometimes it starts with what's in your bowl. And coming up next, we'll talk about one of the most common ingredients in senior diets and how it's quietly weakening your heart and aging your skin. Food 3. Margarine and fake butter products. For years, margarine was marketed as the healthier alternative to butter. No cholesterol, heart smart, light and fluffy. But now we know the truth. Many of these fake butter products, especially the old school ones, are loaded with trans fats and artificial oils that do far more harm than good. If you're over 60, your body is already working harder to protect your heart, your skin, and your arteries. And when you add trans fats to the mix, it's like throwing a wrench into the system. Here's what happens. Those fake fats interfere with your cells. They damage the delicate lining of your blood vessels. They contribute to blocked arteries, inflammation, and even skin thinning, especially in older adults. And the worst part? You may not even taste the damage, but over time, it shows up in your blood work, your energy levels, your skin elasticity, and even in your memory. Let's look at Harold. He's 75. He switched to margarine in his 50s, thinking he was doing something good for his heart. But in the last few years, his cholesterol numbers spiked. His skin became thin and fragile, and he was constantly feeling bloated and inflamed. His doctor reviewed his diet and asked one simple question: "What are you spreading on your toast every morning?" That small detail changed everything. Here's what Harold did instead. First, he switched to olive oil drizzled on toast. Second, occasionally used real butter, but just a small amount. And third, he tried avocado mash as a creamy, heart-healthy alternative. Within months, his numbers improved. His digestion got better, and his skin began to regain strength and tone. So here's your takeaway. Butter isn't the villain, but fake butter made in a lab? That's another story. If ingredients sound like a chemistry project, hydrogenated oils, monodiglycerides, preservatives, it's time to toss it. Instead, go back to basics. Use real, whole fats in moderation. Your heart, skin, and brain will thank you. And next up, we're talking about one of the most popular beverages in the world, and how it may be silently aging your bones, your skin, and your brain. Food 4. Soda and diet soft drinks. It's bubbly, it's sweet, and it feels like the perfect companion to a meal. But if you're still drinking soda or diet soft drinks after 60, your body might be paying a much higher price than you realize. Let's start with regular soda. One can contain up to 10 teaspoons of sugar, and that sugar hits your bloodstream fast, triggering spikes in blood glucose and insulin. But what happens next is even worse. Your body crashes, your metabolism slows, and over time, that constant rise and fall of sugar leads to fatigue, brain fog, and fat storage, especially around the belly. Now let's talk about diet soda, the so-called safe alternative. It contains 0 sugar, but don't let that fool you. Most diet drinks are loaded with aspartame and other artificial sweeteners, which have been linked to headaches, mood swings, gut disruption, and even memory problems in older adults. And both regular and diet sodas are highly acidic. That acidity pulls minerals from your bones, leading to bone thinning, weakness, and higher fracture risk, especially dangerous for seniors. Take Martha, 69. She drank diet soda every day, thinking it was a better choice than sugary drinks. But over time, she noticed her bones ached, she bruised more easily, and her digestion was constantly off. When her doctor suggested eliminating soda for just 30 days, she hesitated. But she gave it a try, replacing it with sparkling water and a splash of lemon. Within a few weeks, her bloating went down, her cravings dropped, and most importantly, she felt more hydrated, balanced, and clear-headed. Here's the bottom line. Soda dehydrates your cells, weakens your bones, and slows your metabolism, especially in your golden years. What should you drink instead? 1. Sparkling water with fresh lemon or mint. 2. Unsweetened herbal teas like chamomile, hibiscus, or ginger. 3. Or just plain filtered water, the most underrated anti-aging drink on earth. So before you crack open that next can, ask yourself, is this refreshing me or slowly aging me? Next, we're diving into one of the most common ingredients in your pantry, one that hides in sandwiches, pastries, and even soups, and how it quietly attacks your joints and drains your energy every single day. Food 5. White bread and refined flour products. There's nothing quite like warm, soft bread. The toast in the morning, the sandwich at lunch, the dinner roll at night. But if you're still eating white bread or foods made with refined flour after 60, it might be time to reconsider. Here's why. White bread, and anything made with refined white flour, goes through a heavy processing stage that strips away the fiber, nutrients, and natural grains your body needs. What's left? a product that turns almost immediately into sugar once it hits your bloodstream. And when your blood sugar spikes, so does insulin, which tells your body to store fat, especially around the belly. That's not all. These processed grains are also harder to digest, especially for older adults. They move slowly through the gut, leading to bloating, fatigue, and irregular digestion. And if you're sensitive to gluten, something that becomes more common with age, you may also notice joint pain, inflammation, or mental fog after eating refined flour products. Let's look at Victor. He's 72. For years, his diet was filled with toast, crackers, white pasta, and pastries. He didn't think much of it until his energy started crashing by noon. He gained weight around his midsection and started feeling stiff and sluggish after meals. His daughter suggested one small change. Replace white bread with whole grain or sourdough, and swap pasta for almond flour versions. The results were almost immediate. His digestion improved. He felt fuller longer, and his energy stayed steady throughout the day. Here's the good news. 1. You don't have to give up bread. 2. You just have to choose the right kind. Look for 1. Whole grain bread with fiber. 2. Sourdough, which is easier to digest due to natural fermentation. 3. Or almond flour options that are lower in carbs and gentler on blood sugar. Because what you spread your butter on matters just as much as the butter itself. Next up, we'll tackle one of the sneakiest aging triggers of all, an ingredient that's in more than 80% of packaged foods, and how it's silently damaging your heart and your brain. Food 6. Canned soup and frozen dinners. They're easy, they're convenient, and they feel like the perfect solution when you don't feel like cooking. But if canned soup or frozen dinners have become part of your regular diet, you may be adding years to your age without even realizing it. Here's the hidden problem. These quick meals are often loaded with sodium, sometimes 2 or 3 times your recommended daily limit in a single serving. And after 60, your body doesn't handle salt the way it used to. That sodium overload causes your body to retain water, puts strain on your kidneys, and pushes your blood pressure dangerously high. But that's not all. Most canned soups and frozen dinners are filled with preservatives, artificial flavors, and stabilizers to keep them tasting fresh after weeks or even months on the shelf. What does that mean for your body? You may notice bloating and puffiness in your hands, face, or ankles, brain fog and fatigue after meals, or that feeling of being full but not nourished. Let's talk about June, age 70. She lived alone and often reached for frozen meals or a can of soup for lunch. Quick, cheap, no mess. But after months of this routine, she started feeling swollen. Her energy dipped. Her doctor noticed her blood pressure had crept up. The solution? Her granddaughter helped her make a simple batch of homemade vegetable soup using low-sodium broth, herbs, and fresh ingredients. They froze it in portions, just like store-bought meals, but without the harmful additives. Within weeks, June's bloating reduced. Her blood pressure stabilized, and she felt more hydrated, clearer, and even happier. So here's your upgrade. 1. Replace canned soup with homemade soup. Just once a week can make a difference. 2. Use low-sodium broth or make your own with bones and veggies. 3. Add fresh herbs like parsley, turmeric, garlic, or thyme. They boost flavor and support your immune system. Because aging well isn't just about avoiding disease. It's about choosing foods that truly nourish, not just fill. And now, let's look at a sweet ingredient hiding in your pantry that may be doing more damage to your skin, your joints, and your memory than you ever realized. Food 7. Deep-fried snacks. They're crispy, they're golden, and they're addictively satisfying. But behind every crunchy bite of deep-fried snacks, from potato chips to fried chicken to fast food fries, is a storm of damage happening inside your body. Here's what makes fried food especially dangerous after 60. First, the oils used for frying are often highly processed, reused, and oxidized. That means they're chemically unstable. And once heated at high temperatures, they release harmful compounds that damage your cells from the inside out. Then, there's something called acrylamides, a toxic chemical formed when starchy foods are fried. Studies have linked it to inflammation, cognitive decline, and even cancer risk. And finally, we have advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These compounds form when sugars and fats fuse during high-heat cooking. And what do? They attack your skin elasticity, speed up joint aging, and increase systemic inflammation, the root cause of many chronic diseases in older adults. Let me give you an example. Robert, 66, loved his crunchy snacks. He'd nibble on fried samosas, onion rings, and packaged chips almost every day. He looked fine from the outside, but he noticed his knees were getting stiffer, his skin was losing tone, and his energy crashed quickly after meals. His nutritionist explained the science behind AGEs and oxidized oils, and challenged him to try air-fried versions of his favorite snacks instead. He started making baked sweet potato fries and air-frying zucchini sticks, even chicken tenders. And within a month, the difference was visible. 1. Less puffiness. 2. More steady energy. 3. And clearer, brighter skin. So if you're over 60 and still indulging in fried foods regularly, remember this. Every fried bite may feel satisfying in the moment, but it can silently age your skin, your joints, and your organs far faster than you think. Try this instead. 1. Baked or air-fried alternatives. 2. Use avocado oil or olive oil for safer cooking. And 3. Limit how often you eat anything from a deep fryer. Because staying young isn't just about what you eat. It's about how it's cooked. Coming up next, we're going to talk about one food most people consider comfort food. But it might be the reason your bones, heart, and brain are aging faster than they should. Food 8. Alcohol in excess. A glass of wine with dinner. A cocktail at a party. Even a cold beer on a hot day. For many people, alcohol is a small pleasure of life. And in moderation, it might not be a problem. But after 60, your body doesn't process alcohol the way it used to. Here's the truth most people never hear. Even a little too much alcohol can speed up aging dramatically in older adults. Let's break it down. First, alcohol puts extra stress on your liver, your body's main detox center. Over time, too much can lead to fatty liver, inflammation, and poor metabolic function. Then there's dehydration. Alcohol pulls water out of your cells, which can lead to dry skin, wrinkles, and faster aging of your face and organs. And perhaps most concerning, excess alcohol has been linked to brain shrinkage in older adults, especially in areas tied to memory, mood, and decision-making. Let's look at Carol. She's 67. She used to have 2 glasses of wine each night to wind down. She thought it helped her sleep. But over time, her memory got foggier. Her skin looked more tired, and her sleep became more broken, waking up at 3 a.m. and unable to fall back. Her doctor explained that alcohol may help you fall asleep, but it blocks REM sleep, which is the deep healing kind. It was disrupting her recovery and speeding up signs of aging. Carol made a small shift. She limited herself to 1 glass of red wine on weekends and skipped alcohol at least 5 nights a week. Within 2 weeks, she was sleeping better. Her face looked brighter. Her thoughts became clearer. So here's the takeaway. 1. If you enjoy alcohol, keep it occasional. 2. Choose red wine, which has antioxidants like resveratrol. 3. And always hydrate extra on days you drink. Because the older you get, the more important it is to protect your brain, your skin, and your sleep. And alcohol, when overused, robs all 3. Coming up next, let's talk about a food that seems innocent, even healthy. But maybe the reason your stomach is bloated, your joints ache, and your mind feels cloudy. Food 9. Flavored yogurts and low-fat dairy. Yogurt. It's been marketed for years as the healthy choice, especially for breakfast. And sure, on the surface, it sounds perfect. High in calcium, good for digestion, light on calories. But here's what most people over 60 don't realize. Flavored yogurts and low-fat dairy products may be quietly disrupting your hormones, your gut, and your energy levels. Let's break it down. Most flavored yogurts are loaded with added sugar, some with as much as a candy bar. That sugar spikes your blood glucose, stresses your pancreas, and leads to energy crashes and weight gain, especially around the belly. Then, there are the artificial flavors and thickeners, designed to make low-fat versions taste rich and creamy. But your body doesn't recognize these additives as real food. They can throw off your gut bacteria, leading to bloating, poor digestion, and even weakened immunity. And don't forget where that dairy comes from. In many commercial brands, the milk is sourced from cows treated with growth hormones and antibiotics, which may interfere with your own hormonal balance, especially as you age. Now, let's meet Grace. She's 71. Every morning, she had a cup of strawberry-flavored low-fat yogurt. She thought she was starting her day right until she started noticing brain fog, frequent bloating, and trouble sleeping. Her daughter encouraged her to try something different. Plain Greek yogurt with a drizzle of raw honey and a handful of berries. And within weeks, her digestion improved, her cravings dropped, and her energy returned. So here's your swap. 1. Ditch the sugar-packed yogurts. 2. Choose plain, full-fat Greek yogurt, rich in protein and probiotics. 3. Add your own toppings, raw honey, blueberries, cinnamon, or walnuts. Because the secret to aging well isn't cutting fat. It's cutting the fake stuff and going back to whole, real food. And up next, let's talk about a food that looks innocent on the shelf, but has one of the biggest impacts on how quickly your body breaks down over time. Food 10. Packaged snacks, crackers, chips, granola bars. They come in shiny wrappers. They're easy to grab, and they've got labels that scream whole grain, low fat, or heart healthy. But if you're over 60 and still snacking on packaged foods like crackers, chips, and granola bars every day, you could be adding years to your age where you don't want them. Let's look at what's really inside most of these so-called healthy snacks. 1. Refined flours that spike your blood sugar. 2. Added sugars hidden under names like brown rice syrup or evaporated cane juice. 3. And preservatives meant to keep the shelf life long, even if they shorten your own. What do these do to your body? They lead to chronic fatigue, low energy, and that afternoon crash that keeps coming back. They can also trigger skin breakouts and worsen conditions like rosacea or eczema. And worst of all, they feed inflammation, the silent culprit behind heart disease, joint pain, and even dementia. Let's talk about Leonard. He's 68 and always kept healthy snacks on hand, granola bars, low-fat crackers, and baked chips. But he couldn't figure out why he was gaining weight, feeling tired, and waking up with aching hands. After reviewing his snacks, his doctor explained the problem. Even though the labels sounded healthy, they were filled with processed carbohydrates and artificial binders. Leonard made a simple change. Now, instead of packaged bars, he eats a small handful of mixed nuts and seeds. And instead of crackers, he preps homemade granola bites using oats, almond butter, and honey. And within a few weeks, first, his inflammation markers dropped. Second, his energy lasted longer. And third, his skin began to clear up. So here's the takeaway. If it comes in a shiny wrapper with a long ingredient list, your body has to work harder to process it. And after 60, that extra work turns into fatigue, aging skin, and chronic inflammation. Try this instead. 1. Raw or roasted almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds. 2. Homemade granola bites with simple ingredients. 3. Or even sliced veggies with hummus for a refreshing, anti-aging crunch. Because sometimes the quickest snack leads to the slowest recovery. And now that you know what foods to look out for, let's shift gears and talk about what to do instead. How to clean up your morning plate, stay energized, and slow the aging clock naturally. It's not about cutting everything out. Let's pause for a second. After hearing about all these foods that speed up aging, you might be wondering, do I have to give up everything I enjoy just to stay healthy? And the answer is simple: no. This isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. The truth is, you don't have to cut out every cookie, every bite of cheese, or every sip of wine. What you do need is to understand how often you're eating them and what you're doing to balance them out. Because small, consistent changes over time, those are the ones that truly add up. Let's take George, 73. He loved soda, fried chicken, and his nightly ice cream. But after watching a video like this, he didn't overhaul his whole diet overnight. He just started making one swap a week. First, soda became lemon water. Then, fried food became air-fried. Later, dessert became fruit with dark chocolate. Months later, his doctor told him his blood pressure had dropped. He had more energy. His skin looked healthier. And best of all, he never felt deprived. So here's your encouragement. 1. You don't have to do it all at once. 2. You don't have to be perfect. 3. You just have to start somewhere. Because the more you become aware of what's on your plate, the more power you have over how you age. You're not just living longer. You're living better, sharper, stronger. And in the next chapter, we'll give you some real-life steps you can start today to clean up your meals without sacrificing joy, flavor, or comfort. The anti-aging grocery list. Now that we've covered what to limit, let's talk about what to add. Because aging slower isn't just about cutting bad foods. It's about feeding your body what it craves to heal, protect, and stay sharp. So grab a pen, take a screenshot, or just listen closely. Here's your anti-aging grocery list. 1. Berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. Packed with antioxidants that fight wrinkles, brain fog, and cell damage. 2. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula. These keep your bones strong, your gut clean, and your skin glowing. 3. Omega-3s. Think salmon, mackerel, sardines, flax seeds, and chia seeds. They reduce inflammation, protect the heart, and sharpen memory. 4. Turmeric. This golden spice is your natural anti-inflammatory. Add it to soups, teas, or even eggs. 5. Bone broth, full of collagen, gelatin, and minerals that support joints, skin, and gut lining. It's like fuel for aging joints and tired skin. 6. Nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds. Great for heart health, steady energy, and healthy fats your brain loves. 7. Water. Sounds simple, but dehydration makes everything worse. Your joints, your mood, even your skin. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses a day, more if you're active or on medication. Here's the key. The more you shop from this list, the more you're telling your body, I'm here to help you age well. So next time you're at the store, pick 1 or 2 items from this list to bring home. Make it a habit. Then watch your energy rise, your skin glow, and your body begin to thank you. And in the final chapter, we'll wrap it all up and leave you with a message you won't want to forget. Now let's bring it home. After 60, every bite matters more than ever. Because what you eat doesn't just keep you full. It either fuels your future or quietly steals from it. The foods we talked about today may be common, even comforting. But over time, they can lead to fatigue, pain, memory loss, and faster aging. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize it's happening. But now you do. Now you know what to look for. And more importantly, what to do instead. So take a moment and think. Which of these foods surprised you the most? Was it the yogurt? The crackers? Maybe the flavored cereal? Backhand index pointing right comment below. We'd love to hear your answer. And your comment could help someone else take their first step too. If you're serious about aging well, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who still thinks soda is harmless. Because staying young isn't about chasing miracles. It's about making one smarter choice at a time. And you're already doing that, just by watching this. Thank you for being here. And we'll see you in the next video, where we keep helping you live stronger, longer, and better.